miss. I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G, sitting alongside my boys Rio and Jimmer today. And shout out to some entertainment in the NFL right now. There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. And after their season is over with.
Right. They got to keep it live, baby.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what. Well, we've got some fun stuff tonight. We've got the wonderful Mr. Rio's Randoms. We've got your weird laws. And, of course, we've got some news and notes about different things going on in the sports world. So, unless you got something else you want to kick it off with, Jimmer, let's go to you, baby.
No, I'm good. The NFL says it will not investigate settlement between Dallas Cowboys and the cheerleaders' voyeurism claim. NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy said the club handled the matter.
You dang right they did.
Yeah, old cowboy boy over here. Tell me this doesn't have that, because I kind of knew this, right? But like I heard it like loud and clear from like an NFL reporter that's kind of been like in and out, has like the ins and outs of saying, yeah, there's 32 owners, but there's like a group of 5 or 6 that are only they got each other no matter what. Like they're all fraternity, but these ones up here are not going down for anybody, and the NFL will cover that too. We all know Jerry Jones is one of them, and this all but it made that clear to me right there. They're like, well, no, we'll leave it alone.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We know another one, right, Schneider?
Well, that one's actually, I think they're going to throw that man under the bus here. Because
finally, right?
So I didn't put it in here because I was going to wait until we actually got some shit going. But like the SEC, the NFL hired an ex-SEC investigator to actually go into this one into Dan Schneider and the Commanders. So I think that he's about to be some scapegoat shit now. Like, the kind of like, hey, bro, you went too far. Maybe they've had a conversation with him. They're like, hey, here's the deal. We're still going to pad your pocket. You lay low. You do your thing. You're going to have to be the scapegoat for us. You'll still get some money kind of your way. You know, something like that over the years. But, dude, we can't get out from this. Like, you've buried yourself. Help us help you. But you still need to make it look like it's legit. But to me, I was like, as soon as they said that they're not going to look into the Cowboys thing at all, like, no, it's good. They did fine.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Jesus. Tell me there you saw him fishy there.
Just a little fishy. Smells like tuna.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
You know what? It'd be like that sometimes. Okay.
You know, it is what it is. Have more money.
You ever heard of Connecticut cover-up? It's because they covered it up.
Because they covered it up. Roger Goodell is negotiating a 4th contract extension, which would be in place in the coming months. Goodell last signed a deal in 2017, taking him through 2024. He just turned 63. I know you're shaking your head. Yeah. What do you got over there, big guy?
Well, he doesn't look that old, first of all.
No, he doesn't. I was actually shocked by the age.
He's on some vampire shit.
I was going to say, hold on. Yeah, you can look however old or young you want to when you got that kind of money. Botox.
I don't know. I don't know. He 100%. Looks. I was thinking like 50s, like maybe upper 50s, maybe. When I seen 63, I'm like, Jesus, he don't look 63, but
yeah, that's some vampire shit, right?
But either way, what do you think about him signing another 4-year deal, Danny?
No.
Bad for the league, like ultimately.
Yeah.
Like,
get some young bloods in there. You know,
maybe a minority.
Absolutely. If he's the right person for the job, sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's tough. I still think there's more to come out about the whole Dolphin situation and everything like that. So maybe they're trying to get this contract done before.
I think so I'm leaning towards that too. This all kind of compiles, right? I think they're doing this because he said during the signing of his last one that it would be his last one.
Yeah.
Because it brings him to this. It brings him to this age. You know, he'd be 60. What? He'd be 66 when this original contract would be over.
Right.
Or maybe that means he's going through 2024 because the one may be up. Either way, I think it's more of a scapegoat, like he's signing on, and maybe the NFL owners are like, hey, we can't have this keep trailing in. Maybe we kind of, because have you ever seen from very rarely do you see Paul Tagliabue like after he retired from the NFL as NFL commissioner? No, they disappear. You know, I'm not saying that Tagliabue did anything wrong, but what I'm saying is. Roger Goodell will be able to disappear. The NFL will be able to dispose of anything that they had wrongdoings going on and all the shady shit, right? And they can pile it onto one person before he walks out the door. Well, they haven't been able to do that yet. I think Roger knows that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's about to get paid handsomely for that. Like, if you're gonna run my name through the dirt on this, and I'm gonna eat some of this because there's no way that his name isn't in some of these emails or whatever, right? And other shit.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, that's what this is. Like, I don't know why you would. It hasn't exactly been to me, it hasn't been a smooth transition for them in definitely the last 4 years, right? They've had all kinds of issues arise.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. We had the unrest of the African American community, right, come up and how they handled that and the whole Kaepernick deal and it was just a crazy last few years.
Yeah.
So to see them extend it was just like, doesn't make sense really.
Right.
I'd have figured they'd went with someone else at the end of his contract. But
yeah, I don't like, just as a fan, the NFL is not going where I want it to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the people that control his job aren't looking at it that way. They're looking at, are we making more money or less money than we made the last year, the last 5 years or whatever. Right?
Yep.
So even for all the wrong reasons, the NFL's been in the news. They've made more money than ever off of it. And they say he's the reason, right? So we're going to go ahead and keep him on. And he makes so much money in that position, too.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it more than, at that time, more than like starting quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Per year?
And it'll be more now.
Yeah, it'll be even more now.
Yeah.
So.
yeah. If you got the commish job, they went with a new commish. What kind of rules you putting in? What are you relaxing?
We're going back
on?
to old school first off, and you're signing a waiver. That's number one.
Yeah,
yes,
bitch, you're
100%.
practicing.
Yeah.
Right,
okay?
you're practicing
This
because
is
we
real
want
practice.
quality football on the field.
Hell yeah.
We're playing
100%.
all around football too, like it was.
Yep.
And you're signing a waiver. If you don't want to play football, then don't play football.
Yeah, and you won't get paid millions. It's fine.
Right.
Yep.
So you are sacrificing something for something. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
If you want to celebrate, we're going to celebrate that with you.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. I may come down there as a commission and
bullshit.
dance with you
Hell
in the
yeah.
end zone.
Just be
Right.
prepared to get creamed like the next time. Yeah.
Right. We'll let it go. If someone drop kicks him because he's celebrating in the end zone, let it go.
Yep.
Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
Right, whatever. You catch a
100%.
70-yard touchdown, that's cool. Just know next time you're going across the middle, fair game, baby.
Fair game.
Yeah.
I'm also seeing dudes get, like, I understand CTE is a huge thing. We know this and what it can do for your value of life. But these dudes are, like, their knees are getting wrecked, ankles, everything, because everyone's going low because that's the only thing that you can do. I mean, I'm not saying your brain is a hell of a lot more important. I understand that. 1,000% more important. But your value of life, if you keep getting your fucking knees blown out and legs broken and tendons tearing, you know how uncomfortable that is? Like, especially the older you get, too, afterwards, like after you're done with your playing career, most of these guys can't walk. It wasn't just from, head bonking their head and getting CTE over time. Like, there's literally guys that can't walk. Very difficult for them to walk. It's football. What I'm saying is it's open game. I'm not trying to get you to go literally helmet to helmet and launch yourself like that type of old school, but like, hey, he just went to go tackle him.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I totally agree. It never made sense to me when they started talking about it. I'm like, if I knew I was making millions of dollars, I know what I'm doing.
Right.
It's basically a car wreck every time.
Yeah.
So what the hell's the problem?
I have one other thing too, and that's to simplify the rules. I think they way overthink this shit. And there's fan bases that can back me on that. Just go ahead and ask the Oakland Raiders and the tuck rule.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
Ask the Dallas Cowboys maybe too.
Yeah, catch rule. And that's exactly. As like all you have to go, me and Rio have talked about this before. All you have to literally do is that a catch in schoolyard football? Yeah, that's a touchdown in schoolyard football. That's a fumble in schoolyard football. I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm like, you're way overthinking. If the ball is doing this and it's coming up in here, but he catches it, he catches the ball, he gets his feet down. That's good enough. But like, how long and like it juggled a little bit, and I'm like, dude, it's a touchdown. Like,
Right, yeah.
come on, unless the ball is literally, boom, comes up off, and then you, like, literally dislodges all the way, maybe. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, simplify the shit a little bit.
Right. I would also make the referee position a full-time position.
Yes.
You're paid a salary, 100%.
And
That is your job.
And
you
they can focus on that.
You
Yep.
can focus
And
on
get
reffing.
better.
You're going to be in good shape. Yeah, and 100% study your craft and what's going on the field. Be more alert. Call things out.
And they can afford to do that. Those
yes,
kind of
they
things
can.
are just
Yeah.
petty as
If
fuck.
MLB can afford to do it,
yeah.
the NFL can afford to do it.
100%.
MLB's what? Maybe third or fourth in the nation in our top sports. Depending on that, it's going to be NBA has passed them.
Yeah, the only reason they can pay the players more is because they have how many more fucking games than any other sport,
Yep.
right?
Absolutely.
So I'm with you, though. Yeah.
But it's NFL, probably NBA. You can throw, if you want to break it up, then it'd be college football. College football would be number 2.
yeah.
Then NBA. Then college basketball, maybe even before baseball, right? But even they can afford, my point is, they can afford to pay their full-time refs,
Right.
Chiefs, Chris Lamons facing battery charge in connection with the incident involving Alvin Kamara and has turned himself in. So I guess it wasn't just him. I thought it was him and his entourage.
That's what I thought, too.
Yep.
So he's part of the entourage, yeah?
Yeah, it must be.
All right.
I don't even know who it is, so that's kind of where you're at in life right now. Excuse me. The Broncos have hired Los Angeles Rams secondary coach and passing game coordinator, Ajero Abero, as their defensive coordinator, replacing Ed Donatel,
Oh, yeah.
technically, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Vic Fangio is the one probably calling most of it. Not really a name I know. I'm just letting you guys know. And stop me if you've heard this one before. Anthony Davis and injuries.
4 weeks, right, at least?
Yep. Anthony Davis will be out at least 4 weeks after an MRI showed that the Lakers star has a midfoot sprain. Davis suffered the injury in the team's 106-101 win against the Utah Jazz on Wednesday.
You know what happened?
Can't get right.
You know what happened to me when I sprained my foot or my ankle
You still want to
playing
work?
high school ball?
Still want to
What
play?
did you do, Jimmer? You roll your ankle, you fucking fall down.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do?
It hurts really bad.
But what do you do?
I had one really bad one.
Immediately after that.
Get up.
Rio, what do you do?
I'll probably walk it off.
Walk it off,
Yeah.
tighten your fucking shoelaces, and go back out there and play, right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that shit's so annoying, man.
Yeah, I think these, and right, wrong, and different. I think a lot of athletes in general nowadays, the way they're built, is to protect their self for their future and their contracts. So you're telling me out of all the years, how many games that it's starting to catch up now with, like, for instance, like a LeBron, but like literally he would still play 78 to 80, somewhere in the ballpark, 78 to 82 games a year, not to mention the playoffs, right? And that went on for years and years. He may be soft in some people's eyes or whatever the conversation, whenever you want to debate. This isn't a debate when it comes to the games played. He'd still get out there and go.
Right.
Kobe was literally getting injected in ice packs and everything, the whole works, and get out there and play and go.
Yep.
Right? You're telling me Michael Jordan, who played 82 games, except for when he did get injured, like severely injured, that he didn't play through rolled ankles, foot sprains?
Midfoot sprain is kind of weird, too. I've never.
Yeah. Well,
Is that like the arch of your foot?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really
I
understand.
don't know. But the point is, tighten the shit up and let's rock. Well, like, at some point, like, you're fighting to get at least the 8 seed. That's what you're trying to do, and then you're hoping that you guys get it correct by the playoffs, that you can roll, right? Or not roll, but get some wins and start piling and learn as you're going here. You're not Every time he comes back, he's out. He plays for a few games, out for 4 weeks.
Here's what I'm tired of. Did you see did you see the play where he fell on the floor and was fucking rolling around like he broke his shit? Oh, my God. He was acting like he was going to die, man. It was just biggest overreaction.
Was it nasty looking? Like, did you watch what happened to the foot?
Whose foot?
Anthony
talking
Davis.
about Anthony Davis?
I don't remember.
So I did watch it, and it is pretty nasty.
Is it?
His foot's at like 9-degree angle.
Oh. So I did this once on,
Whatever.
on Danny's assholeness. I went to go lay up or possibly dunk on a lower rim.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So this was
so it was a lower.
but no, dude, I had 10
You're
foot.
Michael Scotting it up before
Yeah, it's Michael Scott or whatever. What is it? Also Will Ferrell. Was that free throw line?
Yeah, I could probably dunk from there. Yeah.
But I'm going up, and Danny like stands like right there, like so today's day and age for NBA, that's definitely a foul because you are no, I'm not talking about street ball is one thing, but you're supposed to be out of the way for a landing, right? Like for jump shots, you're not supposed to be. This dude did not. He was irritated that I was going up. I think his team was losing. And I come down on the side of his leg. My foot comes down, and I literally flop this thing over so bad. I honestly thought I broke it. Like it was hard for me to walk to get into my vehicle to drive a whopping half block down to go tell my mom to take me to the emergency room. Now that was gross, and that felt. And there's no way I was just tightening my boot on that one. So that's the reason why I asked you if Anthony Davis's was looking rough or not.
Yeah, maybe, but no matter what, there's so many. They over dramatize like what's actually happening, and then you're like, okay, you're out for 4 weeks. Okay, maybe the injury is that bad, whatever. But the way you look rolling around on the floor is way worse than what it actually is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what. It's already, everybody knows it's soft, right? And there's already enough disrespect there. And then you see that stuff all the time, and then it's just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. This is the reason why we should have gained a little, me and you should have gained more respect for Kobe when he was playing.
Absolutely.
The dude tore his goddamn Achilles and still went out there and sunk free throws and walked himself off the court.
Walked himself off the court, yeah.
He didn't, when he was down on the ground when it happened, he literally he sat back up on his butt and started grabbing the back of his heel. And wincing, yes, but there wasn't what you're saying, like the crappie flopping around like the world's worst injury and this, that, and the other, and then gets up and...
I will say it did look bad. It did not look great. Okay. His foot was like a 90-degree angle. His shoe, his shoe was turned this way.
Maybe we're just getting more along the way of,
like we're
just tired of hearing about him.
That could be part of it for sure.
Right, and so here's the thing. Like he just jumped up right to grab the ball and come down. I don't even think anybody touched him. And
so he just came down himself.
Right, came
so
down.
You need to learn how to come down when you're jumping.
Right, and I think that's kind of what we're.
When you don't play basketball regularly, like you kind of forget, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, how do I do this anymore? Like, I got to dribble again. How are we doing this? Like,
you never lose your shot though.
I haven't, but James has.
Dude, we do this anytime. Anytime you're a little hard to touch. We do it tomorrow.
I'll probably get blindfolded and still beat you.
Challenge accepted. Loser has to take the rest of that bottle.
Chug it once. Yep. No, hell no. What the hell?
We'll not chug it. One episode.
Just chug it in one episode?
Yeah, throughout the episode, you get to drink it.
I'm pretty excited. I want to see how Rio plays basketball because we both know you've never beaten me in a shooting contest.
Excuse me?
So I'm not worried.
Excuse me?
I let him win.
Dude, I don't know if
once.
you've ever beat me in a shooting contest. Ever.
That's false.
Maybe one game of horse back in 1972?
And
I wasn't even
you
born?
weren't even alive yet. So neither was I. And I'm old as shit.
Yeah, that is true.
Get him, Danny.
Just get him. Doesn't even know how to use fucking Google Drive. And
that's a lie I do now, so
him.
you can suck on whatever.
A lollipop?
Yep. Lollipop.
Exactly.
Lollipop. DeMar DeRozan scored 38 points on 16 of 27 shooting, 59% shooting Wednesday, making him the first player in NBA history to score 35 points while shooting better than 50% from the field in 7 consecutive games. DeRozan surpassed the mark set by Wilt Chamberlain, who put together 2 such streaks of 6 games in a row, the last of which was in 1963, gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
And this isn't a center-based
exactly
game either.
Yeah, balling out. kind of disrespected, right, in the offseason for getting signed
Everyone's
by the
giving up on
Bulls.
him, yeah.
Everybody's giving up on him. He's washed up. He's done. And he's just balling out, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Bulls have been playing him as well, but the Bulls have been playing great. You know, they got hit by an injury bug a little bit, but yeah, he's doing great things.
They are going to be one hell if they're all healthy.
Tough out for sure.
Tough out, highly entertaining. I will be watching whatever series they are in, as long as they can go. Actually, that'll be one because I'm not saying I watch every playoff basketball series, especially in the first round. You know, I'll catch for a little bit of the whatever, but. That is, I always find one that I'm like kind of intrigued by that maybe not the everyday fan is, and that whoever they're playing, I'm going to end up watching because they're highly, highly entertaining. They have a serious competitive bone up in them in today's version, like we just so eloquently put it, and DeRozan's out to prove something.
Yeah.
Dude,
100% prove. And then Zach LaVine too. Zach LaVine learned something in the offseason. Playing for Team USA.
I was gonna say, yeah, he got some work with Team USA.
He wasn't just stat. He's not the typical stat stuffing Zach LaVine, just going out there and winging this stuff. He's learned to play team basketball while capitalizing on his abilities. You know, and turning that into victories and being a team player with it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they've got a solid core, right? Like early this season when they were hot, the one thing I was worried about, I'm like, you don't really have a star though. It's pretty badass seeing DeRozan turn into that guy for them.
yeah.
Like there was a point when he hit 2 straight back-to-back game winners.
What do you mean? They have one of the original big baller brands, bruh.
Dude, and he's good too. Awesome defender, really good.
He's turned into one hell.
Right?
He's turned into one hell of a.
Once he kind of
separated from his dad.
Exactly, and tuned dad out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we appreciate you, Dad. You know, you did a lot for us to get us here.
Got out of L.A. too.
But,
helped.
Yes, but then just kind of, Dad, I'm going my own way now. You know, you got me
appreciate
here.
you. Appreciate you getting me up to this point, but
going my own way, making my own path. It seems like they've all have flourished besides the younger one, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be a tough out
the middle
for sure.
one.
Yeah, that's right, the middle one.
I do disagree about the playoffs this year, though. If the Nets end up with like the 7 or 8 seed somehow, I'm watching that first round. If they're playing like the fucking Bucks or the Bulls or the Heat or whoever,
I agree with you.
That's going to be
1,000%.
the difference this year.
I'm not saying necessarily the 1 versus 8 is the game that I don't watch. I'm just saying there's always a couple matchups like, I'm not saying 1 versus 8. It could be 4 versus 5. It's like,
Yeah, I just mean this year's going to be different in that respect anyway, because the Nets are going to be much lower than they should be.
Well, look what could happen. I'm not saying it could because it's looking really, really bad for them, but the Lakers could end up as an 8 seed and the Nets could end up as an 8 seed. We could see something happen.
How crazy would that be?
None of these teams are so special on one side, as in like this is the dominant, right? This is the dominant team that has no chance of not making it to the finals, right?
Yeah.
Can you name that team that you're like right here? Snap. Shit.
No,
so they
man.
technically could. I mean, yes, maybe it's hanging on to a LeBron fan thought basis, but why couldn't they? If they actually played the way that they should be able to play, like everyone predicted. Same thing with the Nets. The Nets are going to be one hell of a scary team. You're hoping when you start coming down the last final few, like the final week or so, week and a half of games of the regular season, if you're the 1 seed, you were lining up to see if, hey, do I need to eat a couple losses here to make sure I don't meet them Nets in the first round?
Yeah, especially if you're going to play Kyrie
wouldn't
every
you,
game.
right? Wouldn't you kind of be like, hey, and not we don't do that. We don't just throw games. But all of a sudden we're resting our starters. You know, we're not trying to seal the one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all of a sudden we're resting our starters. We want to get our young guys some playing time because we may need them for the playoff run.
Yep.
Guarantee you're looking at that.
100%. And I'm telling you, Silver's trying to get Kyrie into these games, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he's pushing this whole thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Right?
It's money at the end of the day. And it should have never been a fucking thing anyways.
They're going... The Nets have a legitimate shot to make it to the finals. I don't care what seed they are. They're going to be
They can, and I think they got better with that trade. I really
Yeah.
do. When you put so many offensive weapons together like that, I'm talking about the way they were constructing them like before the trade.
Yeah.
Defense lapses, and if the shot isn't there for a couple games, that's a danger. You're losing, and you're losing because you have nothing else to lean on. Ben Simmons is a defender. Kevin Durant can raise to a defender. We've seen him do it with if he has people like around him that are also doing it because he's competitive enough, right?
Yeah.
But when he went to the Warriors, you learned he could play some goddamn defense too, right? But all those other pieces are like they're hungry, you know. And then you're not to mention like I watched one of their games the other night. Lamarcus Aldridge, you forget about coming off the bench, can still ball. I watched him play. Blake Griffin still got a little bit. He's not the highlight reel or anything like that, but he's still a nice piece. I keep forgetting Patty Mills.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about Patty Mills being there, and the dude can get on
He's
fire
still-
with the best of them.
Yeah.
Seth,
and he
right
plays a chip.
there now, so
Yeah, exactly. He plays
he's
with a chip on his
shooting
shoulder. Seth Curry's
lights out from 3
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
I think they have a better all-around team for this push in the playoffs than what they did prior to the trade.
The way things look right now, the best thing that could happen for basketball is the Nets play the Sixers in the first round.
In the first? No.
Yeah.
Not in the first.
Oh, my God.
Perfect scenario. They would love to see that
How
in the
nuts
Eastern
would that
Conference.
be?
Eastern Conference
Eastern
Finals. I
Conference
agree.
Finals.
For
You wanna see the Eastern
money's
Conference
sake, right, and
Finals.
everything,
Yeah.
that'd be I'm all
Yeah.
good with that.
But
But because the
to
Nets
get
have been
the-
so bad for a while,
to get
like
them
if they
intrigued,
get there,
yep, I
oh
got
my
you.
God, I think it'd be phenomenal. Yeah.
That would actually help maybe boost them up to like the start of the playoffs, like where you actually have more views for that. I could see
Yeah.
that then. And then maybe even catch a few of them staying on and watching the next. I could see that. But ultimately, I think they'd want those two in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, yeah.
Either
And
way, right?
And that is
Damn.
one where you have a damn conversation with the refs. Unless there's blood,
Right.
you let this go. This
let 'em
sells.
play.
Let them play ball.
100%.
Don't worry about your, what was that, Donahue? Don't worry about your hedging bets and shit like that, okay? MLB officially delays the start of spring training until March 5th with CBA negotiations to resume Monday. Last time I saw, they are still a mile apart.
So do you know the date?
It does sound like they are trying really hard, though.
I think they're, hold on. They're not trying really hard. They're trying really hard compared to what they were doing. But they're still not.
How long did they meet?
They did a 15-minute meeting the other day.
That's what I'm saying. They're not.
So, no, I saw this rumor. Apparently, they're flying at everybody, all the GMs, together, trying to work something out and get a little bit closer.
So I was one of the things that one of the key points that MLB players want is a higher percentage of players eligible for arbitration. The MLB absolutely hates, and I cannot emphasize that enough, hates arbitration.
Yeah.
They are not going to buckle on that. So the MLB Players Association would literally have to give up on that number altogether. Because the MLB doesn't want arbitration at all, plain and simple. They really don't want it. They didn't want it when they took it up to 22% of your, it's like second it's called, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But they want no part of that. So unless the MLBPA is ready to let that one go completely and let it sit as the previous CBA on that one, this is not going to go anywhere. That is one that they are adamant about. We're not moving on that one.
They're not that close anyway, man. They met for 15 minutes the other day.
The minor leagues are trying to get rid of more of those players over years. This first year they'd be okay with, the number per team, like, you know what I'm saying, throughout the industry is supposed to be like they hold 150 or something like that. Now they're trying to get that part of the CBA to put in that, the MLB would have discretion at how many, and we'd be okay with lowering that number down to, over the years, down to 125, 120. So they're not really as close as it looks like. Maybe, and like you're saying, in the last final hour here, this is going to cost us all a bunch of money. Let's get some shit hammered out. Let's go straight to let's knock out all the small stuff so we can get it down on paper. Okay, we're good with this. We're good with this. And then you get to those. I'm like, all right, I'm willing to literally come here. If you on this one, you're willing to come here. Maybe that stuff will happen. But some of these are very, very, they're very passionate on both sides and of some particular issues, and neither one is willing to give up on. Maybe, though. We knew this was going to happen. That's what this one comes down to. The date, we knew spring training was going to get pushed back, and it's ultimately going to get canceled.
And what did you say? You said 20 games, right? They missed 20 games. You still sticking with that?
I think so. I'm definitely saying that no more than 20 games, though. And I think they're okay with that. I think both sides are even okay with that, except for MLB players that are going to be missing paychecks here coming soon.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah. And I think they know the fans will still be on base, like still be on board at that point too. If that's all you're losing, because they did that COVID, and COVID gave them a leeway on that. Technically, it was a CBA too. A lot of people forget a small CBA issue that 60-game season, 50 game, 60, whatever the hell it was, 50 or 60 game season, they found baseball fans still came back to watch for that, and they were a little more leeway because COVID. That's the reason why MLB, but I think 20 games, and I don't think they would think twice about it.
Yeah.
What's the day? The 25th. If they don't have negotiations done by the 25th, it's going to be delayed anyway.
Yeah.
So we're 7 days away.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, like Rio said, he said that they're flying the GMs in and they want to get. Maybe they will, but like I'm saying, the two hot topics, unless one buckles on the other, and they're major issues for either one of them or for both of them, unless one of them is able to completely give up on that, or even give a little bit, I should say. By sounds of it, they don't want to give on those two.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. If you're flying them in, obviously you're meaning that we want to do something. We got to fast track this a little bit more.
Hopefully they do.
Yeah.
I was trying to find. I believe I seen it on Twitter. Apparently they were flying them in and trying to get people together to meet.
I hopefully we won't miss any games. Hopefully it's truncated training, and because that was the other part. So here's an interesting fact about that season when they played the 60 games in the truncated season. They did like a 3-week mini camp. You remember that before they started that? So what a lot of people forgot was the amount of injuries that happened that season, soft tissue, and actually even worse into the next season because you turned around that much quicker also.
Yeah.
So they're also not trying to lose their stars in this aspect. You know, MLB's a business. They already have a marketing issue anyways with getting their top guys out there in front of the people. You know, so you sure as hell don't want to lose them. So yeah.
I hope you're right.
I hope so too. I want to watch some baseball. I plan on going to a game or two, and we like watching it in our free time in our house at least. So not the whole game, but
yeah.
A federal jury found former LA Angels communications director Eric Kay guilty on 2 felony counts Thursday, agreeing with the government that he distributed the deadly drug fentanyl and caused the death of Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs. Kay, who won't be sentenced until June 28th, faces a minimum of 20 years in prison.
Yeah, interesting. I saw someone testified. It was a former MLB pitcher.
You want me to go with that one? That's the next one.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Roll his name out because...
So free agent pitcher Matt Harvey could be suspended by MLB after admission to opioid distribution.
Yes.
There was like 4 other players that went up and said they used or they had bought or gotten them from the players or these trainers or whatever.
Yep.
And used them, but he was the one that in the discussion was distribution.
Yeah.
MLB can't take any action, however, until it reaches a new labor agreement with the Players Association.
Yep.
Harvey received immunity from the government in order to testify and may not be criminally prosecuted for anything he admitted to in court unless he lied. He'd have to find a team to sign him, and then possible 60-game suspension would be possible at that point. But
right, yeah, and that's what I was talking about. He come out, testified. I could see him absolutely be getting in trouble. Now, it's going to be relevant because he's at the end of his career. Wouldn't see him getting signed by anybody. Maybe a
depth or minor league
contract. Yep.
Hope you don't have to call him up type of situation.
Exactly. Yeah. So this only hurts him. Obviously, I could see him getting that suspension for sure. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I saw old Harvey, the fall from grace. Remember he was balling out.
The Dark Knight. Remember the Gotham?
Exactly,
yeah,
yes.
remember that?
Yes.
Like what the hell happened? He got into his own head
and just must have. I don't know what it was, but
he fell off hard. I think he had a couple injuries, but then he just fell off hard.
Off hard.
Yep. What are you thinking about the Skaggs verdict? Looked pretty slam dunk to me anyway.
Yeah.
I don't even know if his attorneys actually fought too hard. Like they couldn't find anyone to I guess they had only 3 or 4 witnesses to try to defend him. You know what I'm saying? Or try to say something. And the prosecution had 5 times that amount or more.
All right. Here's his babysitter from back when he was 12. Said he's a good boy.
He's a good boy. He never once gave me anything that wasn't juicy in a cuppy. Yeah, so College football playoff to remain at 4 teams until a 12-year contract expires after the 25 season. By choosing to remain at 4 teams for 4 more years, the 10 FBS conferences and Notre Dame have forfeited roughly $450 million in potential revenue. We've talked a few times about this.
Well, I don't give a shit about the revenue because they make plenty of
they make plenty of money.
Yeah, who
no,
cares?
I understand that. That isn't us.
But I get the what.
Shocked that they didn't because there's that much money on there. But we've all stated many times now. But we'll
it's
continue
not money
to beat
for
it.
the NCAA. It's money for the schools, right? That's what they're saying. Oh, of course,
for
they
the
would bring
conferences.
money.
For the conferences,
right?
Which goes to schools. But the fact of why in the hell is it ride or die 12?
Yeah, for whatever reason.
You
they
know,
have to.
like that's.
I don't think you have to do that.
Yeah. Evidently, it gets real. It adds like 2 more games per team unless you're the 1 and 2.
I was gonna say, yeah,
It was like something stupid.
do 6 teams and see how it goes, and give the top 2 buys.
Yep.
Make the other 4 play out.
Yep.
You move in and play from there.
Absolutely.
Either way, there's not going to be a perfect system.
There won't be. I mean, because you can go like, well, we had to play 1 more game. We're tired. We're beat up.
Yeah.
You know, then the 1 and 2 seed.
Well, I don't even know if that's what he means.
And
What he
you're not
means is
gonna-
if you set the line at 6.
Well, I'm
say
just
6,
saying you
well,
can
there'll
see
be-
a side with every, a flaw in every scenario. Is
Yeah,
what I'm trying to
and
say.
any version of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have them each play each other too if you do 6.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
1
six isn't
versus
too bad.
6 if you want to do that. I don't know if they want that. That's
Well.
not good TV. But
No.
But that being said, all the other ones, wherever you set the line at, the school that gets left out right below the line, there's always going to be the fan base saying, we
Always.
should have had them because they had 1 magical year,
Well, you
right?
couldn't at 6. You'd have to go 8
Why?
because you'd be left with 3 teams after they all played each other, right?
No, he's saying like the number 7 team is going to be like, we should have been in. And
Oh,
the number
yeah.
8.
Yeah.
And the,
I thought you were
so
saying
there's
when you
always
said
gonna
you could have all 6 teams play each other. Yes, until that
Well,
second
then
round.
then the one would have a bye. I don't know.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Then it would
Yeah.
have to be, if you want to make that conversation,
Yeah.
it's got to
Whoever
be
wins by more, the scoring differential,
Gets
you get
a-
a first round bye.
get it by.
Or a
There
second
you go.
round bye. Sorry, second round bye.
There you go.
It doesn't. Well, you know what I'm getting at. It's,
Right, a flaw with every system.
But there's always going to be. You can put it at 12. You can put it at 6. It doesn't matter. The next team in, or the last team out, so to speak. First team out. Sorry, first team out, and their fan base, and then you also get the analysts that will come out and say it too. Well, we need to go to 10. We need to go to 14. They had a great year. They're just getting shortchanged.
Yeah.
So I do believe it needs to be expanded a little bit. That's the reason why I
Yeah.
believe you're not going to have an argument with me, even as a fan of a program that doesn't get there very
the
often.
deal.
If they have a magical year where they end up 7, don't care. Like, yeah, then you should have done something a little bit better to make that resume to get to 6.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to say. You make your own damn schedules.
Yep.
Put somebody harder on the schedule. Sure, it's a couple years out. Like Texas, we're going to get blown out by Alabama for the next couple of years because we have a away and away, or a home and away with them. And it's like, it's stuff like that. You have to start putting people on your resume to get you over that hump.
Yep.
Yeah. It's tough, though. It's like that could be your one loss, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're out of the picture no matter what.
Yeah.
But it's
If you
kind
go
of
to 6, you might not be out then.
Maybe not. Yeah.
But the line will keep going down and down. That's what I'm saying. The line will keep moving and moving. Well, they lost to this team, but they didn't lose any. But they had a softer schedule, but they actually played harder and they blew out. They beat who they were supposed to. The list can keep going on and on.
Right.
They need to just stick with the 12 team needs to disappear. That needs to not even be a conversation.
Right, yep.
We're getting way too far fetched.
Way
There's
too
no way you can pick 12 teams that are
No.
deserving of a shot at a national championship.
Well, like I said, you're going to see much more discrepancy between those 12 playing the 1 and the 11 playing the 2 and the 10 and the 3, right? Those teams are going to get blown out, murdered. It's not even going to be close, right?
Yep.
So, yes, you have to go with like an 8 or a 6 or something of that sort. It's going to be, the games are going to be better, more competitive, more fair probably, because are you saying UCF that year they were whatever undefeated, you put them on the field with Alabama, you think they're balling out at any chance with them? Probably not. They're probably going to get murdered. You're going to have 3-star kids in the trenches getting just mauled by these just monsters on the line, right?
Yep.
Can we all agree?
Yeah,
That's
100%.
what would happen. You don't want to see that.
Yep. True that. The NCAA will review nil policies, including impact on student athletes and potential recruiting violations. After this first full year of basically there wasn't really a policy.
Yeah.
It was free reign.
Hell yeah.
It was crazy.
We should have tried to get our eligibility back because
Yeah.
they're throwing out all kinds of deals.
Yeah, just throwing money everywhere, baby.
Hey, we could have gone to Wyoming though, right?
Yeah, I did hit him
Damn
up
it.
on Twitter. I got no response, so that was
You
disappointing.
didn't show him the club foot? Dude,
No.
I'm like a mile, dude.
Dude,
Mile
I got
before I kick it.
I got Tommy John's last year just for this. So
Yeah, think of the tax credits for adding us to the team.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Yeah. But we believe they need to look into it a little bit, right?
Yes.
This is getting out of. I
is
believe
out
it's
of
getting
hand.
a little out of hand.
No, it's
Yeah.
getting a lot out of hand.
Okay. That's not even to mention how much money these guys are gonna make once
That's what I'm saying.
once NCAA comes back too, the football game.
Think of it though. These kids are teenagers for 2 years that they're in college, and you think it's a good idea to give them millions of dollars? Are you kidding me?
Mhm.
No. Sorry.
Well,
You
hold on.
agree they need to
There's
get
people that
something.
became millionaires when they were like 16. We
agree.
can't take so it's like I get it. I get it.
Where does that money go though? The schools in the NCAA does not need it.
No.
No.
The kids have to. The kids have to get that money.
Right, but I'm just saying not the millions. You give them whatever like we said. You determine the amount.
Maybe it has to go into a trust or something.
Yeah, or a trust. There you go.
Like whatever you make off it, it has to go into a trust until
I don't
you
care as long as it doesn't go to
yes.
the NCAA, doesn't go to the
Right.
schools.
Yeah.
'cause
Yep.
they-
Yeah.
It's
Maybe a trust, or it
They're
has to be
making it off the backs
put
of these
somewhere
kids.
where until you're 25 or something.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Until
Like,
you
hey,
can.
this is what the amount you can get. Let's say the nice round number is $1 million. You can have 100,000 of that. The other 900 needs to go into a trust until
Yep.
you are 25 because you need to show responsibility and like
you know.
that you're not gonna.
Because if you were given $1
You're not
million,
gonna hurt your
if you were
life,
given
too.
$1 million at 18, how many bad decisions would you make?
Yeah.
all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
gonna. I think.
I wouldn't have $1 million left.
And
I would have
think-
bought a house and shit though.
Right. Exactly.
First,
But
get
come
that
on.
stuff out the way.
Yeah, let's get that.
Let's be real. If you're have $1,000 a week, you're probably going to school and doing your classes like you're supposed to, going to practice and doing everything you're supposed to, and grinding like you're supposed to, right? You got $1 million, you're probably messing around a whole lot, going out partying, probably not doing everything you're supposed to. Now, there's plenty of people that are probably doing the right thing. That's cool, but
Plenty of them, but
Plenty of them
there's
that are
always,
probably
there's,
doing
there's
the
NFL players
wrong
that already
things.
went through their college career that came in, and you give them millions upon millions of dollars when they come from a poor family like myself, and you give them millions of dollars all of a sudden at a pretty damn young age at 21, 22 when they come in,
yeah.
and look how many bad decisions they make.
Yeah,
Now you're giving it to them when they're 18, 19, 20.
exactly.
Like even before you're even, yeah. I'm not making the best decisions. That's for damn sure. I'm coming into it probably hungover, but
yeah.
I don't know what the solution is.
I don't know what it
I
is.
would like to say so I don't like any thought of anyone dipping in and saying that you can't maximize what you can get as a person. I don't like that thought either. Who are you to say that I can't make millions of dollars either? So I'm on that side of it too. Like what's the difference between this computer genius that went and created fucking Facebook or whatever that there's always someone that was like 16, 17 a brainiac and made a few $1 million. What's the difference between him and the next one? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think you could help by saying, hey, the money is all yours, but you need to do it with this. It needs to be locked up until maybe it's until you graduate. Maybe it's 22 or something like that. It doesn't have to be 25, but it's your money still. It's not ours in any way, shape, or form. It's your image and likeness. You can get it at this age.
Yeah, make it that. Graduate 4 years. You graduate at any point. You get your degree from here.
But what are you supposed to do with it if they don't? It's still theirs. It was still their image and likeness.
I don't, put it into some community or something like that. Give it back to.
You're playing a hairy
community.
game right here. Like what I'm saying. Like now you're going down a different path. You're forcing money to be taken. That'd be like them taking your money that you earned. Like if they were silly enough to pay you a ridiculous wage at your current job. Like, but if you don't get this completed, but they piss you off and you don't get it completed, hey, we're gonna take that and we're gonna distribute somewhere else.
You're only helping them out though if they get their degree.
I didn't say you're not
Maybe.
helping them, but you can't force something like that. Not when it comes to their funds and it was off of them. You know what I'm saying? You can't take it away.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. You can't do that. I'm sorry. You can't do that. That's you controlling way too much of it.
Or it just sits there. Who cares? I mean, whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I mean,
the time range.
The encouraging thing is, so it would entice them to. Don't force it. But hey, you can get it at the age of 22. Well, I have nothing to do until the age of 22. Let me go ahead and knock out college then. That's what I'm saying.
It's in a trust till 25 unless you get your degree before that. Then you can
There you go. You can do that too. At least you're not taking it away. You're not saying. I'm more on board with that than Danny's over there. Wheels are spinning.
I think it's too much money. I think what needs to happen, these colleges need to pay the athletes. If you are on the roster, you get this much a week. I don't care who you are. If you have made the roster, you get paid. I think the money situation is crazy because there is recruiting violations. Well, technically, they're not recruiting violations, right?
Right. Yep.
Now, but
Kids
kids are absolutely being influenced straight by the money, and that's
I don't know what the answer is, and that's the problem is that they don't know the answer either because it's a hectic world. I believe they should get paid. I back that.
Yep.
Especially,
we're all on board with that.
especially from themselves. You know, somebody wants to pay you $1 million because they want, you know, a month long of you coming to signing autographs. Why can't I sign an autograph and make money off myself? That's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's very, I don't know. I don't know what to do either. Anytime you're sticking the NCAA in anything and allowing them to make massive rules and dictate, now we're talking about also you can lean towards the government. Like you want the government digging into more and more of your stuff. It's kind of the same thing. Like you can't tell me what to do. Now, what I'm with you on is the school for pay thing. As in, they're paying you $1,000. We've talked about this many times. $1,000 for every athlete all the way down the board, right? I do like the plan of like, hey, you can have it if you, well, not if you graduate. That's the word that you say. Hey, 22 or 25. If you graduate before that, it's yours. But it'd be no different than putting a trust. Why do you think, this is the reason why I'm on board with like a trust version of this, right? Why do you think rich grandpa and grandma, which I don't have, I'm working class, but they don't just hand a 10-year-old you their $2 million in their house right out of the gate. They put it in a trust until you're a certain age. There's nothing wrong with putting it in a trust. It is still yours. You have to get to this age to get it. Unless you have a better idea. I think that's one of the better ones you could get.
So who's in?
Nobody's in control of it.
So, but when the money gets put into a trust,
Yep.
what does that mean, Jimmer?
It stays there. What are you talking about?
So the money just stays in an account and it doesn't get invested by a company or anything like that.
Depends
and
on
then
who's holding
ultimately
it.
get paid back, right? So what that does in a trust, and it's probably going to be an NCAA trust. That's just going to allow them to invest that money, make money off of the money that the kids have. I don't like that.
No, not the NCAA. No, it'd be like they'd have to show proof that they went and put it into their own, like a bond. You want a bond? Don't matter.
Not these days.
Well, probably not, but not nowadays. But you know what? You have to do something, Danny. You have to do something. So
know, man.
The state,
you
maybe.
do.
I don't know.
You do have to do something. Like you can't let it go. And I'm all about people making money. I am. I really am. You don't want that. You don't want a bunch of like suicides because you went through this. Well, I bet you we're gonna see in about 4 years. I bet, if that, we're gonna start seeing a bunch of crazy shit from this year. All this stuff that went down.
Yeah, kids blowing through money. They don't make the NFL.
Yeah, you're going to see a bunch of Delonte Wests.
I 100% agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. You got to help them control that. That's the reason why you don't hand it to. That's what I'm saying. Like an inheritance. You don't just hand it to a 16-year-old kid and here you go.
Because are they in high school? Are they teaching you fundamentals?
They're
of
not 16 years old, right?
They're 18.
They're 18.
They're 18, 19,
Right.
20.
Exactly.
Right?
Teenagers for 2 years.
They're 18. You got to.
high
I'm not
school
saying you
doesn't
take
You're
it
not
away.
giving them enough credit. Is my point. Like I think
No, I'm not.
I think there's plenty of people that are going to do dumb shit.
Yeah.
But to automatically say because you're this age, we're gonna not let you dip into that money that is technically yours. I don't like that. Just because some people are gonna make mistakes.
Well, then take
I'm
a
not with that.
Then
That's
take
all.
a financial course.
I'm not with that.
Then take a
Well, that's the
financial
thing.
course.
They
Take a
don't.
financial
They
course.
don't do that in high school. They don't make you take it. We'll teach you algebra 2, which you will never fucking use. But we
That's
don't
damn
teach you
true.
life lessons on
Yeah.
how to manage money, how to write a checkbook up, how to anything like that.
No. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Maybe you have to say maybe something like that. I don't care, but there has to be something, and not just hey, I don't like that. We got to come up with something as a group ourselves before the NCAA
Hell
can make
yeah.
the call. That's what I'm saying.
And
You
we'll
got-
sell them a
because
package.
I'm on both sides right here. I'm telling you, I'm all about them making money, their own money. If I had an option to do that, you're not going to tell me that I have to give my money to anybody. If somebody's willing to give me that, I get that. You have to help protect them a little bit. What's the difference between that and Biden helping out the druggies from banging needles and buying dope pipes for them?
I'd say there's plenty of differences there.
What?
Plenty
What
of
is the
differences
difference?
there. There's plenty of differences there.
Well,
Free crack pipes in your Christmas stockings this year, Rio.
hell yeah, man.
No, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. Whatever the NCAA proposes, I probably won't agree with.
No, because I don't.
You
I'm
know?
not an NCAA
Yeah,
guy either.
they're shiesty as
They,
hell.
right.
Yeah,
they've
they've
shown
made-
over and over that they'll, be shiesty, as you like to say.
I get where you're coming from, though. It's like we want to protect them and stuff, right? But at a certain point, it's kind of like, what are we protecting them from? The 5%, 10% of, kids that are going to do something stupid? That seems kind of shitty to me. Because what about the kids that are going to do it right? What if they're going to take that money and invest it? What if they're going to take that money and take care of their family? What if they, you know what I mean? Like,
But what if that?
It's
5% is like what they're doing is not just hurting themselves, actually hurt somebody else.
yeah, so we definitely, I think part of it would have to be, whether it's I don't know about courses, because college courses are dog shit. I think it's got to be real life stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
okay.
maybe you have to go in and you have to do some kind of internship at some financial places, right? Like
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
maybe there's something there.
that's what that's what I'm
but-
saying.
So
Like,
right
learn
now,
it.
without any of this money, 40% of college athletes receiving scholarship money do not graduate.
Sure.
That's without getting the money.
That's without getting the money.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm a venture guess that number is probably going to go up with this, but yeah, no. So that's what I'm saying. Just like if you had a solution
Most of the
or a
cats
half-ass one.
most of the cats making this money are going to a different level, though. They're not staying in college anyway, so they're not.
Well, not necessarily.
Not
There's-
necessarily.
There's a lot of Iowa Hawkeyes I've noticed that have been getting it too, as like on the basketball.
There's a
team.
lot
I've
of
seen
kids
much
that
of
we've
that.
never seen play in college and are getting tons of money, and they could be a bust. 100%, right?
Well, I don't worry about the bus, but there's plenty of people getting paid. What I'm saying is there's plenty of people getting paid just because they get to make an appearance. Hey, we want you to make an appearance at the local Hy-Vee and stuff like that. There's still, it may not be millions. Don't get me wrong.
Right. I thought we were talking about like significant money. Not
No,
like
no. Nah, not necessarily. I'm just talking. And some of
So
it
then
is,
it's like,
but-
where do you draw the line there?
yeah, I don't know.
Right.
It's getting real fit. I'm saying that you need to be able to help them out a little bit, then show them how to take care of this and
Yeah.
manage. That'd be that's what I said. Try to come up with something. That's probably the best one where you're not really controlling their money or anything too much. It's minimal. All you have to do is go learn this thing outside of the college classroom, like you're saying, and you go take this financial course or whatever seminar, shit like that. A couple seminars, whatever, and then it's yours.
Right.
Not anything like we're keeping any of your money, which I have a problem with that too.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing.
And I agree with you 1,000%. I have a big problem with that. The Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame names 11 finalists for the 2022 class. Leda Andrews, Swin Cash, Michael Cooper, Hugh Evans, Manu Ginobili, Tim Hardaway, Bob Huggins, Marquise Johnson, George Karl, Marianne Stanley, and Lindsey Whalen. The Hall of Fame also announced New York Knicks Hall of Famer Walt Frazier, ESPN writer Michelle Vopel, and NBC executive Dick Ebersol are the 2022 Kurt Gotti Media Award recipients. The 22 Hall of Famers class will be announced at the men's Final Four on April 2nd in New Orleans. The enshrinement is scheduled for September 10th in Springfield, Massachusetts. Of those, who actually rings the Hall of Famer? First off, I'm gonna give you. I want to say one where I was shocked. I thought Michael Cooper already was one. Oops. But go ahead. Who of all those Hall of Fame actually says their name?
We got to go through that list again.
Leda Andrews, which I don't know if you know. I don't. Swin Cash, Michael Cooper, Hugh Evans, Manu Ginobili, Tim Hardaway, Bob Huggins, Marquise Johnson, George Karl, Marianne Stanley, Lindsey Whalen.
Yeah, like Mano and George Karl.
I was gonna say I like George Karl too. I was looking at his career as player.
Mm-hmm.
Not much NBA stats as a player,
college.
but coach. College, he only was a first-team All-ACC guy and two-time second-team All-ACC guy. But as a coach, NBA Coach of the Year in 2013, four-time NBA All-Star head coach, two-time CBA Coach of the Year, FIBA Saporta Cup winner.
How many wins does he have? He has a boatload, too. 1,400? Is that what it was? God, it was
Coaching a career record
over 1,000.
1,175 and
Over.
824, so
Yeah.
58% winning percentage.
So who are you thinking?
Yeah, probably Manu and him off the top.
For sure.
Yeah, those are probably the strongest ones besides
So-
old boy that you mentioned. But
So I have. So I could probably do 4.
I don't know if you're gonna say Tim Hardaway or not.
No, I'm not. I
Okay.
don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I think he was very highly entertaining to watch during a watered down basketball era. But he
What,
was entertaining to watch.
the '90s.
Yeah.
Weird.
But he was. He was
Mhm.
he was entertaining to watch. But he doesn't. When I hear his name, I don't think Hall of Famer. You know, like that doesn't resonate with me. But
Yeah.
I would say Swin Cash. Manu, but that's more the championships. I mean, you are a key cog of that. I
Yeah.
mean, it was. So it's hard to take away from that one.
He would earn it more than Eli Manning to me. But
What?
oh yeah,
Stop it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, probably. I can't make an argument. Like you guys put it, George Karl. Lindsay Whalen would be the other one, too. So that was early on, WNBA. It's hard to judge all that stuff, but she was a 4-time champion, too. So,
Yeah.
I would go, that'd probably be my list. And maybe Michael Cooper. I mean, I haven't looked at his stats. I know he's part of the Lakers and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, Manu is kind of a tough one because he really doesn't have a lot of NBA stats. Like, he's got the European
champs.
stats.
Yep, the champs. But this is
counts,
hold on.
though.
That's all that counts in this. This isn't the NBA Hall of Fame.
Oh,
This is basketball
Hall of
Fame.
Fame. Then definitely he'd
College is
have
included.
to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
College career is included. So a contributor of it. Probably Bob Huggins with his coaching too. I'd assume maybe kind of flirting with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
could
I
see
kind of flirt. This isn't a very sexy class.
Yeah,
Like
it's not.
if you almost have to dig to a certain extent. I mean, there's a couple like okay, there's George Karl. Yeah, you should be here. You have over 1,100 wins.
that. Right.
You've contributed to the game of basketball. So yes, that there's a couple there's 1 or 2 slam dunks in there. Manu over his overall career, not necessarily NBA, but his championships would. If you didn't count all of it, it was an NBA Hall of Fame. It'd be a tough sell,
Yeah.
and it'd purely be because he was a key cog.
6 man.
Yeah, he was a key cog of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mark Calloway.
Yep. Is that the Undertaker?
Yeah, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Better known as Undertaker, will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame on April 1st. It was announced Friday. One of the legends of professional wrestling, Calloway has had many extended title reigns throughout his career in WWE and was involved in some of the most memorable moments in the industry's existence. He made his televised debut as The Undertaker at the 1990 Survivor Series. Iconic.
One of the goats, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The block, I can't remember how old I was, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, somewhere in there. The block I grew up on, there's a kid that was like about 2 years younger. We used to hang out, play basketball and all that stuff. He's a huge WWE fan. Die hard. He used to do the perfect Undertaker, like, impersonation, though. He'd even come up and go,
Damn.
dude, I'm telling you, icon of icons right there. Just huge. And that is what I have for news.
Was
gentlemen.
it? You remember when I think it was the Undertaker. Even if you don't watch wrestling, you know what this is. But they threw Mankind off the top of the Hell in a Cell or whatever.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the Undertaker that did that? That tossed him down.
It was either him or Kane.
Yeah, it was one of them, right?
I think it was Kane. But Kane, so I remember that time because that was also one of the big old dramas with the Undertaker in the series and all that was Kane was his brother. So they're both giants.
They were part of the reason wrestling was so great back then, man.
Yeah.
That's why everybody loved it. And then now it's like...
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Do you ever watch wrestling, Rio?
No, not at all. I mean, I know some of the guys, but my parents were pretty like, you can't watch TV.
You lived on a homestead.
Hold
You
on.
lived on a homestead. I forgot.
Weren't you like sneaking out and shit and drinking alcohol and doing other stuff?
Later on in life, yes.
But you couldn't sneak away and watch a WWE match?
We didn't have TV in our house for the longest time. And then it was just like, and then it was like the antenna kind of deal, right? For a while. And I finally started watching, like I pay attention to ESPN, right? I started watching ESPN and stuff like that.
Some
Probably
Stuart Scott.
like
Because you're
7th
young.
grade.
That's what's crazy about it, is because you're so young.
My parents were older, though.
Some Stuart
Yeah.
Scott.
And right, so I was adopted. My parents were much older.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of raised in, like, old school living, right? So kind of weird.
Okay. I wouldn't have pictured the no TV thing, though. Shit.
Yeah,
dude.
no TV. We couldn't listen to the radio.
Whoa.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Dude, when we were so poor and because all we had was static for our television, because that's all that there was, the radio was on.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's starting to make sense. They ran me over with a lawnmower, and they're like, you know what? Maybe you should stay inside and watch TV and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my weird law.
Go ahead. Give it to us.
It's illegal to die inside the houses of Parliament.
Wait, 2 have died?
To die.
To
In
die.
it. To die.
Oh, you can't die.
You can't die in there.
Son of a gun.
Don't think about dying inside the Houses of Parliament, or we don't really know what the consequences for this crime would be.
Where are the Houses of Parliament, Jimmy?
It is considered a royal family palace. If anyone dies inside it, they must be buried with full honors. We're not sure how many people were planning to die here, but we guess Britain wanted to be safe.
I'm about to go over and...
So Britain.
It's about to go over and hanging up.
Yep. You know it.
Yeah.
When I'm down on my deathbed, I'm like, take me to Britain.
So it said it's illegal to die there, but then if they do, they're
Full honor.
full honor.
Yeah, so I don't know what the punishment is, though.
Right. But is that
Makes
a
sense.
punishment?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Rio's Randoms. What's up, man?
All right. It's time for Rio's Randoms, brought to you by Bose Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa.
There you go.
Hit him up for any of your cleaning needs. He power washes anything on the outside, cleans your gutters. He'll even move snow for you in the wintertime.
Mow, weed eat.
Yep, all the good stuff in the springtime. It's right around the corner, so hit him up for any of those needs at 641-903-1720. All right, today. So we've talked about which animal we would pick to win us a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But today I want to know, which 2 animals would you morph into one to help you win a fight?
Oh, shit.
You are combining 2 your animals and making one super animal.
Oh. It's got to be like a... I don't know if this is my answer, but it's going to be like a fucking lion shark or something, right?
Lion shark?
You know?
No.
I think I'm going to roll with a gorilla eagle.
Why the eagle?
Fly. Air attack.
Okay.
Air attack.
All
Fly
right.
and bomb, dude.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm kind of in the same area, a gorilla and a kangaroo. Because a gorilla is mean as shit, but that kangaroo just will fuck you up.
That gorilla will beat the kangaroo's ass, though.
Yeah.
You can pick
It's coming at
anything.
you. Bam.
Yeah.
Flying in. Won't even see it coming. Bombardier, baby.
Damn. So what's the move then? It's got to be something big as shit, right? With the wings, that's an interesting
wings, that is.
addition. I do like that. I think I'm gonna go polar bear. Here's what I'm doing. I'm going polar bear and a lion. That's what I'm doing.
Polar bear and a lion.
Combination.
That's a weird combo.
Polar bears are mean as fuck. They'll fuck
Yeah, I
every
have
other
heard
bear
that.
up.
I
Yeah.
weird like this.
And lions are
I
strong.
feel like this
fast
could
as
weirdly
fuck.
actually happen on that one.
Yeah,
Like,
probably.
there's a lot of weird shit that
right, the
people do out
continents
there.
move, and it could get crazy.
I mean, you guys have watched what's that? The Lion. What is that? The
The Lion King? No.
no. The,
I have watched that, yes.
The Carol Baskins.
I have not watched it, no.
Did you watch that?
Oh,
The lion,
God,
King?
I can't. No, not
Right.
Tiger
Tiger
King.
King.
Tiger
Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of weird
Yeah,
people out there.
that's
So
what-
he was.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That may be down the road anyway, and we'll see another Netflix series.
Yes. All right, moving on to number 2. If you could pick a day to relive, what day would that be? Any day of your life.
Go ahead and say something romantic.
Damn,
you
I don't
homo.
want to.
Go ahead,
You
say
you
it.
big old guy. You.
No, I can't go. I
I'm
can't
a
go
lover, not a
serious on it.
fighter.
No, it wouldn't be anything romantic.
No.
The first day I
Um,
got married.
No, it wouldn't be anything romantic.
All right, I'll give you mine. It's going to be the day that big-ass Powerball hit. I'm going to go ahead and watch the
Has it
Powerball
happened?
numbers.
You're cheating.
Oh, no, not
Has
cheating.
it happened yet? You
No.
said relive today.
No, relive a day. What day would you relive?
Oh.
Yeah. That's
Well,
a
then,
day for
well then
me.
you could just be any day. That's a
Kidding.
cheap ass answer.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Guess
low,
what?
That's
I'm gonna
low
be.
hanging fruit.
I'll be a millionaire
low
though.
hanging fruit.
What's up? I'll be a millionaire.
That's fine. I'm gonna go
Boom,
invest in
boom.
Facebook before they blow up. So what's up?
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Or
Cool.
Apple, one of those.
Relive the day.
Probably
did-
Apple. Apple's
Let's
the
say,
move.
yeah, you're old enough. It probably happened. Me,
Yeah.
it probably blew. Me, it probably blew up before I was. Yes, I don't remember.
Close. You might have been a baby, but yeah.
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 I would say
Can't get serious with it. Because then I have to get serious with it, so you can't get
yeah,
serious
I know,
with it.
right?
That's a shitty fucking move.
Well, it's the easy answer then. It's gonna be the biggest Powerball day that ever happened.
All right, fine. Fucking tell them what you really think then.
No, it's all right. No, it's all right. We're all just going low hanging fruit, and then with that, you can go ahead and turn it into whatever. You know, you turn it into all kinds of investments. By that time, I
Like
do
a
believe
time
that's
machine.
well. That was before. So if that day happened, that biggest day, I do believe was before Tesla took off. That's before Bitcoin took its
See?
major joint. So I'm just gonna be stupid rich in
Yep.
for one day. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And my last one.
Hobo.
Would you rather live in a nudist colony for the rest of your life or be celibate? For those that
nudist
I
colony.
was going to
Nudist.
say, for those that don't know, celibate
colony.
means not having
Yeah, fuck
sex.
that shit.
Jimmer's over there rubbing one out right now. So I don't know. What
I'm
the fuck
hanging
is
brain,
going
bro.
on.
If we're doing that, I'm hanging brain. Let's go.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm giving that up willingly.
Even though people laugh every time you walk
I
by.
don't care. Give no shits.
It's cold out all the time when Jimmer's around.
I give no shits.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
not
probably
bug
going to have to live in the nudist colony for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not giving it up.
I was gonna say the gagging says otherwise. Go ahead.
The what?
Nothing.
I don't know what that was about.
Whatever.
So I
Take
do
it
have
before you
a
want.
couple picks for tomorrow night's UFC.
Did you guys
card.
even pick?
Pick what?
What?
Yeah, nudist
Did you,
colony.
only, did you only have two?
Nudist colony. No, we had 3.
We
Oh,
all
geez,
said
I'm losing count.
that was
Yeah.
one of the worst
Yours
reels
getting
randoms.
old.
It was
Yeah,
too
that
easy.
was.
It was too easy.
Yeah, it was too easy today. We'll have to make it hard.
Yeah, crank that shit up. You want me to crank one out for you quick?
To what are you referring to? I do have a couple picks for tomorrow night's UFC card. I'm taking Johnny Walker plus 200 underdog to win versus Jamala Hill. Man, Johnny Walker, before he had that shoulder injury that kind of gave him some problems, he was just balling out.
Are these stone cold locks?
They certainly can be.
Stone
cold
cold
locks. So taking Johnny Walker, I was really surprised at the plus 200 coming out, so I jumped all over that. 100%. I think he can definitely knock him out. He can do pretty much anything. People don't know he is a black belt as well and decent on the ground. So even if it goes there, I think it would be a standing fight anyways. I'm
Was he fighting Jamel Hill? Is that what you said?
Yes. Jamal Hill. I don't know how they Jamil.
No, I
Jamal.
thought you were gonna say Jamil Hill, the
That
ESPN
Oh.
anchor lady.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The lady, no.
ESPN later.
I think it's Jamal. I don't know. I know I spelled it right on here. I'm also taking Chaz Skelly minus 200 favorite over Mark Striegel. Chaz Skelly comes from my hometown of Azle. It should be his last fight. I believe he is going to be hanging up the gloves after this. So I'm going to look for him to go out on a win.
Let's go, baby. Love it.
Chaz the Scrapper Skelly. And
Yeah.
those are my Stone Cold Locks.
I do have a Stone Cold Lock NBA version.
Here we go.
NBA All-Star Game. Team Durant versus Team Bron. I'm taking Team Durant plus the 5.5. Not for the win, but for the 5.5.
Of course, not for the
What
win.
the fucking
Yeah,
hedging
what a
all the
loser.
time.
Come
This is
on.
what you're supposed to be picking.
No.
This is literally. Do you guys know nothing about like sports gambling?
No, man.
Pick the money. Pick the money, and then I'm taking the over a 321.5. That is went over 5 out of 7 years. So I'm rolling with that one.
We're not talking about making the intelligent bet. We're talking
Yeah.
about using your cojones.
It's Stone Cold Locks.
and
Yeah.
making a
It's Stone
real
Cold
bet.
Locks.
You know
If you
what?
want to make a wager, you know what?
You-
I got Team Brom money line. If you want a
No.
double whiskey
You
wager,
you
on
ride
that.
with your Team Durant.
No, for the plus 5.5. I'm going balls here and saying that they are only going to get within that 5.5 points. I still have Team LeBron winning.
Nerd.
So I'm actually way more sophisticated than both of you. I'm sorry. I'm above that. Oh, let's do the easy one. Let's do what my daughter can do and pick NFL teams. This team wins. This team wins. This
You
team
know
wins.
what?
This team wins.
You know what?
You know what? There's some
Let's go.
challenge to
Let's
it.
go whiskey wager.
Let's
I'll
go.
say Braun's team goes over that plus 5.5.
Oh.
Deal.
Let's go.
Wait, this shit's got to go down. So let's do this. Write her down.
What's it? What is it? Like 300? What's the fucking over under?
321.5.
321.5.
Warm whiskey wager. Oh, I gotta
You think it's
retake those.
It could probably go over that. This game.
It is going over that. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
321.5 is the over.
Yeah, it
I'm
seems-
taking over. I'm thinking 170 to like 168 is what I'm thinking. 167.
Yeah, so like a 340 point fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
There's no defense.
No, but it still looks better than the Pro Bowl in the NFL. So let's be
Yeah.
real.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, right on. Who's got it? Makes sense if you don't think about it, baby.
Well, you know, I got a serious one for you, gentlemen.
It's always serious.
Not always. Well, it's serious, but it definitely turns into comical. This one is 100% serious, though.
Well, let's see if we can change that.
So, you have... so I'm going to break down the scenario just a little bit. You have a kid that plays for a travel baseball team. Been on the team for multiple years. One of the better players that you have all around. There's a tournament down in the Des Moines, Iowa region.
What was
And-
that? Was that French?
Yeah, French.
Des Moines.
Des Moines.
Wow, classy.
I love whenever I hear Des Moines. Des Moines. Yeah. Near Des Moines, Iowa. And so tight game, and I think it's the second day of tournament play. And the game, like I said, the game site. This particular player is on first base, and they have been taught all year. They practice once, twice a week, or whatever, not including tournament play. Every player has been taught that a certain, like when they see the pitcher, they've been taught like what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to take off, if they have the jump, whatever, and go by that. You don't necessarily need a sign. Now, you're going to see a sign if they want you to steal no matter what, basically like, hey, or if they literally want you to hold, they'll give you a sign for that just because, hey, playing it safe here, whatever, they'll give that. But if not, it is literally by what you've been trained to do. Okay? Little context what I'm saying. Just remember he's on first. Okay? The score was 5-6, I do believe, at that point. Okay? And the bats weren't really going. So working around is going to be key to this. Now, a little context is that there's two players that were brought on to this tournament that are not traditionally on this team. They're players that he really wants to get on his team that are pretty damn good players that play for another travel squad, but last year's COVID rules kind of changes and stuff a little bit, right?
Got some Neil deals going on. Okay.
Yeah, kind of squeeze them in and, definitely want them to be it, and they're also from town and not just from town, from the direct Catholic school that they're going to, right? But they've been told many times to both these parents that they will not play with him, with this team full time. Just won't happen. We're being nice and letting them play spot duty because of COVID rules, So, the player that is on first was having a pretty damn decent day. And was in good spirits, wasn't being anything abnormal. Well, he's going by what he's trained. Pitcher's going. He goes and he takes off to second. Not the fastest player by any stretch of the imagination, but when you're trained to do what you're doing, you know what you're doing, right? He almost overshoots it, but he still gets safe. Safe at second. You hear the coach, third base coach, yell over, who is the main head coach, yell over, did you send him? Just starts flipping out, right? Did you send him? And he waved no. He shook his head no. He didn't say anything, but he's like kind of like yelling over there. Like what the hell are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And the particular player is kind of like tuning it out, but like I said, didn't get caught. What's the deal? Very next play, wild pitch. He gets over to third. That one I can't remember if it was. I think it was just a wild pitch and you just took off. Now there was one where there was a. How did that other one happen? I think he goes to take off. I think it was another wild pitch. He goes to take off for home and gets bottled up, but ends up scoring. Yep. Eventually, it doesn't matter. He's caught in a pickle, but ends up scoring. This coach comes off, and we're going into the 6th inning, which in Little League basically is what I'll call it. Little League baseball, travel baseball. That's the final inning, right? On that score, by the way, mind you, he tied the game. On a game that the ball was not getting hit very much in this one. The batches were slow. Remember what I said there. Ties the game. Comes over from across third, the head coach, and is flipping out. You don't steal when you're not told to, and this, that, and the other. And mind you, been doing it all year long, all the players, through every tournament. You don't do that. You weren't sent, and you're sitting this inning. Why would he sit a player that is officially part of the team? They had 9 players officially part of the team, so that you had an excuse to put in one of the nil players, as you so eloquently put it, for that final inning, so they could pitch him. Oh, who ended up no shot at him because he's a kid. I'm not trying to take a shot here, but ended up costing us the game too. Now, there is a great learning experience, as in they're learning the game and all that stuff, so I'm not taking a shot at that. But what I'm saying is you flip out over something that ended up working, literally came around the horn, you score the game-tying run. You come out and flip out on this kid and tell him he's benched so that you can put in a player that you're trying to basically actively recruit in season to take the spot. Even though that player was batting, 360, and that's a down year. Because the year before he batted over 600. So, makes sense if you don't think about it.
Crazy.
That sounds like a piece of shit, coach. Real? What do you think?
Yeah, it does. That's crazy, especially one of your main kids. That's there all the time. I'm sure coming to all the practices, doing all the right things. And to freak out on him and then bench him just because you want to get some playing time to, quote unquote, a better player potentially. Not a good deal. Not
necessarily even a better player. But it's in their school, and he's a very good player. I will say that. I'm not saying that, and he was, but yeah, but that coach has been told many times by both of those parents, that they will not join them full time. This is just so they can play with their friends because they're kids, they're friends from the same school.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I had.
Alrighty.
Got it. Well, boys, I think it's about time to wrap her up.
Yeah.
That it is.
Yeah. So, everybody that's out there listening tonight, let's make sure you do some things where the podcast is available. Jimmer, what do we need them to do, and where are we at?
We need you to click like and share, and we mean that wholeheartedly. We appreciate every bit of support we do get, but that right there does way more than what you could ever imagine. It really does. But then to obviously to do all those, we have them on all the socials. But then where you can grab it from the listening aspect is Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Facebook, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the download, or whatever it is, and just let it go. You hook us up.
That's right. Super easy, means a lot.
It does.
Shoot us a rating, too, once you get some listens in. Let us know what you think, especially 5 stars, right? If it's not, we can talk.
Yeah.
Just don't do anything till we talk. If it's not 5 stars.
Right.
But otherwise, we love to hear you guys' stories. Make sure you hit us up.
In the DMs.
That's right.
Let us know what you got, and we'll get it out to the folks that want to hear it.
Love it. Let us know. We'd love to tell some stories here, guys. Well, hey, we're going to wrap her up. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it.